Hello everyone, Tymerover here, and welcome to the start of a new Let's Look series at PC Building Simulator. So recently I was on the YouTube looking for, interesting videos and so on and so forth, and I came across a top 10 video games that are simulators that you learn something, or some title along those lines. And this game popped up as one of those top 10s, and I had never honestly heard of it. And it piqued my interest because, as some of you may know that have followed the channel, I've built both my past couple PCs here. And I was intrigued by it just to see if I could, play around with it, what it was like, and so on and so forth. But the game itself is, it has a lot of name brands, a lot of components that so far I've played just a little bit of, and we'll be jumping into the career mode here soon to take a look at it. But yeah, it has a variety of different parts, different things, and I've even seen my actual case. And I've been planning on maybe rebuilding my actual computer to see if I could, what that would look like. But it is very interesting. I mean, if you're someone that's interested in sort of simulation and simulators and especially PC building, it actually is pretty robust from the short time I've had with it here. I've been impressed. But we're going to go ahead and just take a look at it. It's not going to be a major thing. This may be a one and off video. Who knows? We'll see how popular it is. If you want to see more PC Building Simulator after this one, feel free to hit that like button and leave me comments and let me know. And we can certainly continue it. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and just load up my current career. Because the beginning of the game is a little sort of hard to get started. And we'll talk about a little bit about what you're actually doing in career mode. And we'll complete a few of the jobs that come through. But there is also a tutorial here where it will show you how to basically build. Yeah, building it worldwide, all this stuff. So go through the entire sort of process involved in building and taking apart components and putting components back in. Let's go and jump out. Main menu. So the tutorial is there. I went through it just to sort of get the controls down, and it does walk you through a good bit of the process and sort of, gives you a start to things. And then the actual career mode will talk about sort of like tips and tutorial-ish things early on as well. There's also free build. I've not messed around with the free build, but I assume it's sort of a sandboxy thing where you can, go in and build a computer and test things out and play around with it and so on and so forth. But the career mode is really where we're going to focus our attention. And it's like your normal simulator, career simulator thing, where, you start off with very little money and so on and so forth. And you have to sort of build your way up and work your way around and get jobs done and so on and so forth. This is actually... Okay, well, we actually have a computer here that is very much my case. Well, maybe not exactly my case. Let me work on this PC so I can zoom. There we go. This is my case, except my case is white. So yeah, that I think is pretty nice. Now, this is not one I actually built. I actually have this as a job that I got from the in-game simulation here. Sir Hungry William at Dickens Stapler Mail. So I had a couple of objectives here, and then we had to put in the delivery area, which is interesting. So this thing's actually pretty much done. So let's go ahead. I'm just going to go and install this panel here just to be done with it. And yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. Let me just take a look here. Hungry William. Saw some plastic white cables. All right, I can't remember. Let's take a look and we'll talk about this. Yeah, the plastic white cables are there. We're good. We're gonna go ahead and just plop you down over here. And you are ready to go. So let's go in here and take a look at our email. You are good to go. Collect. Woohoo! We've got ourselves 291 bucks. and some star reviews on Bongle. Interesting. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and just talk about sort of the gameplay associated with PC Simulator. So I currently have the sound, the music down. There is some music to the game, but with YouTube and everything, I just decided to sort of mute that. They start you off. There are a couple DLCs, but I'm basically just playing on the base version of the game right now. Most of the DLCs that I looked at or I saw were just more cosmetic than anything. They even, they would give you more options in terms of your workshop, like we have right here. This is just the base workshop, but the DLCs do provide additional aesthetics, I imagine. But yeah, the game starts you off with your normal workshop here, with one workbench right here, and two other purchasable workbenches with levels. So right now I can actually purchase this second workbench for 1,500 bucks. And this one I still need to reach level 8. I think this one was at level 3. You got access to actually a second workbench if you wanted to purchase it. So that's good. I have not yet purchased this. So far, one has been working out just fine. However, I have noticed some of the contracts that I'm getting that we'll take a look at here are requiring, things like running specific programs on the computer, stress testing it, and so on and so forth. So while that's happening, you're pretty much unable to do anything else. So that's why having the multiple workbenches might be, be good to have later on. For right now, it's still not an inconvenience, I'll put it that way. But yeah, so when you first start the game, you're basically taking over for your uncle. And it leaves you with very little in terms of money. As you can see, you have a calendar here, and you've got utility bills, you've got the rent and everything. And as you can see, you start in January. I'm still in January, so I've only gone 22 days essentially into the game. And we're sitting at 2,000 bucks, which so far not too bad. But this calendar will start populating with things as you get contracts. Where do the contracts come from? Well, as you can see, this is my desk. It's worth noting that you can sort of tweak and build out this computer. So my default computer here is pretty low in terms of power, and is only worth 290 bucks. But I've not seen a need so far to change it, so we're just going to run with it. But this is where, I'm going to go in here and check on my little computer here. So we have an email program. So if we take a look at the email, we've got, built-in simulated email and customers. So the ones that I've actually, taken on and agreed to are down here. We've got Hungry Williams here. That's the one we just did. This one here, Bruce Van Cleef, he's over here. He's got a job for us that I've accepted. We need to install an Intel Core i5 6400 or better, and then upgrade this to an 8 gigabytes of RAM machine. So I've already accepted this one, so it's actually right here. It all lines up. So it takes a day for the machines to actually get here. So when you actually do accept a job, it usually is in transit until the next work day. So these are ones that I actually accepted yesterday in game days. We've got one here that is from Bland J. So this one, PC can boot to OS, 3D Mark score of 4019. So we need to upgrade that one. So both of these are upgrades. Those are fairly simple to do. You just basically look at what they need. So this one is PC can boot to OS, 3D Mark. So we need to run 3D Mark on this and figure out what will ultimately get that score, I believe. I don't know. I've not done one with 3D Mark yet in terms of upgrading. So we'll have to take a look at that. Let's see. Fix... hi, can you fix my PC? PC can boot to OS, replace graphics card. Yeah, so this is just a broken part one. Nothing too special, but I think... Question is, did I purchased anything so far. So if we take a look here, we can get this. So replace graphics card. Has a pretty high budget. I think I did purchase a graphics card already. So this one has an MSI GeForce GTX 970. So let's take a look at our inventory over here on our shelf and narrow it down by graphics card. What did we purchase? I think this one, I don't know, that's the MSI GTX 970 gaming 10. So I think I have not yet purchased the graphics card yet, because this is what the actual machine already has. So I think we're just going to have to purchase a new one. Oops. Whoa. Come on. PC stats. 970 gaming LE 10. Okay, yeah, we want something else. So what we have to do is we've got to go to the shop. So we got to order parts, and we got to get a replacement graphics card. Actually, oh, I did purchase this because we're just replacing this. This isn't an upgrade or anything. Oh, perfect. All right, so let's go and pick this up. So we need to fix this one. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this computer, bring it over to my workbench here. And as you can see, it is a little dusty. And so contracts will generally have a hidden criteria, hidden objective that's not listed over on the right-hand side there. And if we take a look at our email again, you can see, in terms of, so our objectives are to replace the graphics card. But if we read the actual email, do you like cable modding? I saw some great plastic black ones the other day. So we need to replace the plastic black cables. Are not, it'll probably have white cables, so we'll have to replace those with plastic black ones. And what else? What else? Well, I've never cleaned it out. Is that okay? Never cleaned it out, so we'll need to blow the dust out as well. So those are little hidden objectives. Now I could literally just replace the graphics card and be done with it, but for now we're going to go ahead and try to take it out. So we're going to remove the side panel here, like so, taking all these out. There we go. And then we can, move the mouse, hold down the middle mouse button and click to go up and down, and then actually hold the right mouse button to pan around the actual desktop or the tower here. So that's good. So first thing we're going to do is remove all of that dust and get it out of there. So I'm going to go down into my inventory here. I'm going to click on one, or install, head down to tools and software, and picked up the compressed air. And so we're just going to start blowing the dust out. And hopefully you can see it's starting to change. Sometimes it takes a little bit. There we go. Oops. We got a little bit over here, a little bit down there. All right, perfect. Looks pretty clean. So as you can see, some earlier missions, earlier objectives will be just to basically clean out the dust from the computer, and then it'll go green. But because that's a hidden objective, we have no indication of whether or not it's completely clean except for visual, and I think that's pretty well good. Okay, so now that we've done that, we want to remove the cables, because we're going to replace all of these cables with black ones, because that was the other hidden objective for this go around. So I'm just going to highlight the part that I want to remove. And it's worth noting, like before, say I wanted to get to the actual fan here to remove it. I can't actually remove the fan, the air cooler for the CPU, until I actually remove the plug for it. And that goes to the same for, like, if you had an air cooler, a CPU cooler, that was like overlapping the RAM here, you'd have to remove one part to get to the other ones. So if we wanted to replace the CPU, we'd have to remove the actual air cooler as well. So just to keep that in mind, very intriguing. All right, so we're going to grab you, bum, done. Okay, so now we can actually replace this graphics card. So let's go ahead and this is a perfect example. So as you can see, the remove the graphics card is orange. It means I can't remove it. Something's blocking it. What's blocking it is this right here. We've got the PCI lock feature. So we're going to go ahead and just remove that. Pull out the screws. And then that goes into our inventory. And now we can pull out the graphics card. Get rid of these screws here. And there we go. We've got the graphics card. It is out. Let's go ahead and head into our inventory. Now, we should have a broken graphics card here. And we've got the brand new one that we're going to replace it with right smack dab here. Now, I don't know. I have a couple things. Like, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm not sure if you can actually repair parts or what. I've kept some parts around elsewhere that are broken, but I could sell this for just like $9 if it's not usable at all. I keep waiting for things to like, okay, it's telling me it's broken, but maybe it's not actually broken. But again, I'm not sure if that functionality exists. All right, let's go ahead and grab this replacement graphics card, and we'll just pop you back in, put in those screws, and then we're going to go ahead and power on. Now, if you notice, these cables all attached automatically. When you first start out, you're not going to have the auto attached cables. You're going to literally have to unplug and replug all these cables in every time you create a new or put down a new computer, or want to take it out and walk it back to the front of the shop, which is really annoying, and my actual hand hurt early on. But you can fairly quickly earn enough money to buy what, the auto cabler, I think they call it, or something along those lines, automatic cables, where it'll actually just put these in automatically for you when you hit power on, or in this case, set this up. So we're going to go ahead and just to see if this will boot. Well, it won't because we haven't gotten the cables in. So let's go ahead and finish the cables. So we're going to just select loose black cables because that's what our customer wanted. And then we're just going to go ahead and match this up. And again, the cables aren't too bad. There is an upgrade, essentially a shop upgrade later on that you can get that will sort of plug all these in automatically, I believe, which would be nice because this is probably the most tedious part. But then again, in actual PC building, it is a very tedious thing to do cabling. Okay, everything seems plugged in. Good. Let's go ahead and power it on. We'll pop over here to the computer. Alright, and it starts up. Fantastic. Now, as you can see, we are pretty good to go. Everything's green. We're all set. We only spent $280 to get the actual GeForce GTX 970 replacement. We do have a budget, so we could charge this user upwards of $500 to repair the PC in terms of parts. But we're not going to need to do that. We're just basically done. Everything is good. We don't get charged for the cable. So it seems like the cabling is all just sort of like you have access to unlimited cables, which is nice. Same with the thermal paste, compressed air. USB drive is not so much. And I actually realized this while playing that if you leave the USB drive in a computer and then ship it back out, you lose that USB drive. So be wary of that if you do pick up the game and start playing. All right, so we've got that done. Now we just have an incomplete case. So we need to actually reinstall everything that we took out, all the PC parts. So let's get the PCI lock over here and put that back on. Put in the screws like so. And then let's grab the side panel, toss that in, and put in those screws. And there we go. This is good to go. We'll power it off and leave. Exit. Pick it up, take it over here, and plop it down. And that is ready to be sent back to our customer. Not you, Twain here. Let's go ahead and collect that. 4 stars. Labor, parts, 420. So we got our money back for the parts, and then the labor is our profit. So fantastic. All right, so I'm going to discard that. So we've got a couple other things here. You can be discarded as well. Okay. Let's take a look at this job from Bruce Van Cleef, because I think I should also have these parts as well. So we're going to take a look here and make sure we don't need anything else to finish this. Personally, I cannot stand the modern technology. Convenience, how I detest hardware. Blah, blah, blah. So a lot of fluff in here. The bill purchased several years ago is not able to run the latest. Kindly upgrade the machine so that I can connect it. So there doesn't appear to be anything in here at a glance that are hidden objectives. So we're just going to go over here. We're going to pick up this computer, plop it on our workbench here, and get to work. So we're going to go in here, we're going to spin it around, and let's remove the side panel. There we go. Seems a little clean. I don't think... Yeah, I don't think there's any dust in here, so we're not going to worry about that. But we need to install all of this. Now, if we take a look here... Alright, the RAM is accessible right this second. So let's go ahead and just remove that. Because looks like this is just the stock cooler. The stock CPU cooler. So it's pretty small. It doesn't cover any of the RAM, so that's good. But we're going to need to actually replace it, or not replace it, but take it out in order to get to the CPU, which is right here. So this thing's running an old Celeron processor. And we're going to go and open that up. Pop that out. And then come over here. We're going to first do the memory. So we need to upgrade this to 8 gigabytes. Oh, tell me I have 8 gigabytes of stuff. So I do have some used parts. I don't think... You know what? I think I'm just going to use one of these. We'll see if it works. Okay, we've upgraded. So we saved some money because we were able to upgrade to an 8 gig RAM off of a used part. And that doesn't hurt. Well, we'll see. We'll see. This is the first time I'm actually going to be using used parts here. Because normally they're like, I want this part. I want team group, or, you know, a specific brand, and I don't have that as a used part. This person doesn't seem to want any brands. He just wants it to be upgraded, quote, upgraded. So let's go ahead and get the CPU in there now. So here's the i5 6400. This is what I purchased in order to do this job. Throw you in there. Plop down the cage like so. And then we can't forget the all-important thermal paste. Plop that on there. And then just reassemble. So CPU cooling. The Mortoni Thermal 100 should be okay. So far I've not hit any issue with the CPU coolings in any of the jobs. So we'll figure out if that's the case. All right, cabling. Let's plop you down there. Good. Excellent. Let's see if it can boot. And it can boot indeed. Excellent. So you are all done. Let's go ahead and put the case back on. Throw in there. and throw in there. Power down, exit, and this job is ready to go. Let's plop you over there and send this over. So just to make sure, a future literature depends upon it. Shh, don't see anything. Nope. Collect. And he gave us 5 stars. So yeah, used parts worked out. Invoice, used parts, 323. So yeah, we charge them for the used part, which I guess is okay. And yeah, good stuff. We're up to 2,800. Look at that. All right, you've got a 3D mark. Now, I don't believe... Let's go ahead and do that. We'll grab that and see what happens. Now, one thing that we, to highlight here is I'm going to get rid of these because it's just notifying me that new parts are available. So if we wanted to, say, accept all of this stuff, like you're looking to upgrade, you want me to build you a brand new computer. That sounds interesting. We'll take, what we might do is I might do one more episode of this. And actually start doing and see how this goes in that episode where we build the PC. But if we were just going to be looking to upgrade, like this part right here, we need to actually replace the graphics card on this. So I'm going to accept this job. It tells me it's in transit. So that tells me that tomorrow I'm going to have this computer waiting for me. And so I'm going to want the graphics card to be here as well, so that I can do it all in one day. So I'm going to take a look at the PC stats for this job. And I see here they have an MSI Radeon RX 47 Gaming X 8G. So we're going to want to replace this busted graphics card with the exact same one. So one thing I wish we could do is move this window, but unfortunately I can't do that. So we're going to go ahead and hit OK. MSI Radeon RX 470. Head over to the shop. RSI Radeon 4X. That's not right. My RX, not 4X, RX. Oh my gosh, my memory is so terrible. RX. What? All right. MSI Radeon. There we go. There's a bunch of them there. Okay, you are Gaming X 8G. Gaming X 8G. All right, so there's 2 here. Doesn't tell me, unfortunately, which one it is. We've got a budget of $500. So I'm thinking we just go with this one just to make sure we, just in case. It's only $5 extra. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to the cart. Maybe. There we go. And hopefully that'll be okay. Because what I don't want to happen is that I replace it with an inferior part, an inferior one, and make it a downgrade. Because then you get into the, like, you just bought a card for $295 that is not going to be used for this job. And so then you got to hope you can use it for another job. But there we go. We've got that. So that part is going to arrive tomorrow along with this PC that we can then take a look at. This one's done. We'll take a look at this one because I do want to include in my shipment, my shop shipment, whatever I need in order to upgrade this. So we're going to do that. Now, before we head over to that, let's take a look at the shop. So, of course, we have all of the parts that we could possibly want, and more unlock as you go higher up in the levels. But we also have the tools and software. So this is where I was saying, like, you can get auto connect tool to make connecting cables a little bit better for you. They will have you get Bongo, which is like the reviewer site. And there's various other things, the peripheral shops, corkscrew tool, I do have access to this. Tap a screw, fortune screw. That would be really nice, but that's a lot of money. Not really sure I want to do that. There's the quick cable tool. That will be really nice as well. But there's a bunch of other things that unlock as you go down the chain here. So that's always an interesting thing. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at the part ranking. Because I think... Those are CPUs. 3D Mark score of 4090. Let's take a look at that before we wrap up this episode here. Let's grab you, pick you up, bring you over to the workbench here. I definitely need some dust blown out of there. Let's come in here and do the panel. Let's take care of the dust right away. Speaking of which, this is something I actually need to do with my actual PC. There we go, over here. Alright, that looks pretty clean. Good enough. Okay, let's get this plugged in. I'm gonna leave the cover off because we don't really need it. Just gonna power it on. It'll plug everything in for me. And let's install our USB drive, because we're gonna want to install some programs here. Let's get 3D Mark installed. And let's just take a look at what the current capability of this machine is before we order the part. Yeah, we can go into the BIOS. It's good. Okay. 3D Mark Advanced Edition. Technical Guide. Let's run it. Let's run this. So this is what I was talking about. So we're going to run this just to see its actual, like, current stats. GTX, Sean GeForce GTX 980 Gamer. Let's go, let's exit out. Come over here. Let's take a look at the shop. Graphics card. Sheen. Part ranking. Sheen. Do we not have access? We might not actually have access here. Because if this is the actual rating on the on that scale, then I wonder if we just don't have access to the part yet to get us over 4,000. Did he have a request? Get at least 4019. I like it nice and shiny new components. Is it okay? So that means, yeah, so we can't put a used component in there. They're going to be peeved. I need this percent. So yeah, you just want 40,019. I don't know. This score, I don't think that the 3566 matches. So in theory, GTX 980. GTX 980. Sheen. All right, let's take a look at this stuff. I mean, we'll see based off of our current test what this is running. If it ends up at 2704, we'll know that this actual part ranking here is that kind of score, but I don't think it is. Let's see here. If we take a look at the shop, what do we have a budget of? 300 bucks. So let's take a look here. The top MSI is the only ones that are running higher than that. So we're going to go MSI. We got to stay under our $300 area. Price descending. So there we've got 300, 300, 295, 285. Oof. Not liking this. Not liking this at all. Because if we take a look here, these are the ones that are performing higher. 470, 980 up here. 490. I mean, sheesh. All right, let's come back over here. This has been finished. 397. Okay, so that answers my question. We are close. We are very close. I'm wondering if it's the CPU. Graphics score is high, but the CPU is kind of dragging her down a little bit. What was the what is the CPU in this beast? I mean, if we did a part ranking, AMD Ryzen CPU, AMD Ryzen here. $1,400 is what it currently has. So this one. So we could bump it up to a Ryzen 5 quad-core 1500X. But would that do it? Because we really can't go higher with the current budget. Our only real option is to bump up the processor. And we got to stick with AMD. AMD. I'm gonna try it. We're gonna see if this works. Add to cart. There we go. Good. Go here. I need a new PC for a local train enthusiast. We're gonna accept. I'm gonna accept this. We might do that in the next one. This job requires you to build an entire PC from scratch. You will need to buy all the parts and the empty case from the shop. Sounds great. Go to whiteboard. What? Interesting. What do you have? You need a score of 34. I'm thinking I need a basic. Okay, we're going to accept you. Again, we can't really do anything until we get it, more or less. Replace graphics card. You're good. Okay, so we're good with that. I'm going to go ahead and buy this now. You're going to go there. You're going to exit. Assigning a PC build to a job. For a build job, a yellow label is placed on the whiteboard in the office. Pick up the yellow label and attach it to the workbench, then build a PC. Excellent. Well, yeah, we're going to take care of that tomorrow, I think, or next episode. But let's just progress to the next day. Leave the workshop, end the day, and let's go to work. So here are our parts. Our USB drive. Ah, USB drive came. Interesting. Well, interesting indeed. So yeah, I guess it's a little buggy then, because I lost. The reason I ordered that was because my USB drive disappeared. but I was able to put it back in this one. So maybe it was just a little bug and I just needed to reload the game or something. Okay, where we've got, those are here. Let's head over here. Let's just try and real quick see if we can fix this. So we're going to take you out. We're going to take you out and take out this old CPU. Let's install the new one. I gotta sell some of this stuff. You right here. Incompatible. Probably just sell that thing. Used. Right here. Boom. Plop you in. Close. Let's not forget the all-important thermal paste. CPU cooling. Yeah, that's correct. Plop you in there. Cables. Cables are in. All right. Let's boot her up. And then see if our stuff worked. Run. With the new CPU, if that actually gets us where we need to be at 4019. We were very close. So I think we'll be okay there. I really want the workbench, but no, we're not going to do that. All right, so replace graphics card and so on and so forth. So I'm going to let this run, and then once it's finished, we'll be back, and then we'll just sort of end the episode there. And then we will continue, I think, one more. What is this? Didn't even know that was there. We'll continue it for one more episode where we take a look at actually building one from scratch. And again, if you want to see more of this, please hit that like button and let me know in the comments below. But we'll be right back. We'll see if we actually finish this contract. And we are back, and check it out. 4019. Pretty sure that's enough. 4019, there we go. So this job is now done. Bam. Bam. We're good. Place and delivery area, parts, excellent. All right, let's power it down and take it over here. Drop it off, and then we're good to go. Let's take a look down here. Upgraded, PC stats, ready to do, collect. And there you go. They proved my PC could get to 4019 in 3D Mark, and they used all new parts. Gotta love those warranties. So we're in good shape. So yeah, there you go. Alrighty, well, we're gonna go ahead and put a cut in this video. And like I said, I think we'll do one more episode. We'll take a look at building a PC from scratch. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, we'll see you next time, folks. Bye-bye.